Hey there guys, NexGenStriker here, and today it's time for my review of the DLC for Batman Arkham City, Harley Quinn's Revenge. And I'll answer the question, is it worth getting? Is it worth the price tag? And is it worth the time invested? Now, for those of you who haven't beaten the original, segment of the story since this is an expansion, you will be spoiled in that sense of what happened in the past for me watching this review. So, the short end for you guys is it's worth getting, go buy it, and turn this review off because I am going to spoil it slightly. So yeah, I don't want to ruin anything for you. So for those of you who have beaten Batman Arkham City, you guys all know what happened at the end, the tragic death of Uncle Jay, my favorite supervillain of all time. And Harley Quinn, she didn't take it very well, as you saw in the end of the original story. So now Harley Quinn is extremely mad, and she has plotted a very dangerous plot against Batman. And it's actually pretty interesting how she managed to do all this so fast. I'm actually kind of intrigued. You'll have to listen into some radio calls and listen to some guards talking to really get the full story. But yeah, overall, pretty genius for her. She's not exactly the smartest person. And Batman's been sitting, save the cops she's captured and figure out what the heck she's doing. She broke out of a insane asylum, I believe it was. It wasn't Arkham Asylum. I don't think they locked her back up there. They're, hopefully not. But yeah, anyway, so Batman goes in, and what's really cool about this one is, and I'm not going to spoil any of the plot points, so unlike some other ones, IGN, I'm not going to spoil anything, show any gameplay footage. Well, basically for gameplay footage, they haven't changed anything mechanically, so it plays the same as Arkham City. They didn't add anything in. But the cool thing about this one is, and actually it answers a lot of complaints that the original fans had, is that you get to play as Robin in the city. Now that's awesome, because Robin was my favorite DLC character. He was so beast. He was almost better than Batman, really. I really liked playing as him. He's really cool. And yeah, he's definitely a nice addition. Now, this is a brand new segment of the city, so for those of you who are used to the city from the other one, some of it is similar, but there's new sections in it as well. So, mainly just Harley Quinn's hideout, which wasn't originally there, but there's also new things thrown in. No Riddler challenges this time, for obvious reason. But they did throw in balloons, which are quite difficult to find. There's 30 of them. And not only that, there's trophies. There's, I believe, 8 new trophies, maybe more. But yeah, I haven't gotten them all yet. As far as how long the DLC takes, it takes about, I think, 2 hours to beat. If you play it as well as me, I explored a little bit, not too much. I got about 12 or 13 balloons on my first go. So yeah, that's the rundown for you guys. So now it's time to cover the actual story aspects, now that I've covered the basic overview of the game. Well, the DLC, anyway. So we all know that the story writing for the past 2 Arkham games have been excellent. And the story's pretty good for this one, too. Now, of course, it's only 2 hours, so it's not going to be something, extremely massive. It's not going to be anything jaw-dropping or anything like that. But as an expansion, just a cheap little DLC, it's pretty good for what it does. Now, as compared to the other stories in Arkham City, I wouldn't say it's the best. Personally, my favorite was probably Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, or however you want to say his name. That was definitely my favorite, and of course the scenes with the Joker were fantastic. But, this, I think it holds up pretty well. Yeah, so it holds up very well. It's a very good story. I think you guys will enjoy it. And for all of you who do own the game, you need to get this. It's definitely worth it. It's $10, not too bad. And for those of you who complain that you couldn't play as Robin in the story, well, here you go. You can play as him in the city. Not the whole city, granted, because parts of it are locked off, but a lot of it. And yeah, the story, pretty good. Gameplay, good as always. And is it definitely worth purchasing? Yes, it is, if you got $10 to spare. So, I give this DLC a 10 out of 10. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Whoa, you gave the DLC a perfect score. Now, let's look at this quickly, guys. Now, this is a DLC, not a full game, okay? And think about all the other DLCs that are released. They're usually either dislock content or costing packs. That's most of the DLC these days. This was actually, hard at work, guys working on it, and, for what it's worth, it was worth it, so yeah, 10 out of 10. I mean, you guys feel free to have a different opinion. I mean, obviously not all of us are going to think it's perfect like me. I really enjoy the game, so obviously I'm going to really like it. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's not bad. There's no problems. I think the only technical issue I ran into was the loading screen, like when you die. Harley Quinn, when she tries to, you know how all the villains always have their little banter, their little witty banter, you know, to rub it in your face. Well, hers just screws up. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe it's just my experience, but anyway, yeah, that's all I had to say. So, yeah, if you guys are looking forward to buying it, buy it. So, yeah, anyways, thumbs up if you liked, subscribe if you liked, and I'll catch you guys later.